Here we are on day 3 of the build. We are finding that items are difficult to come by right now, so we're just doing what we can with what we have. We ended up going with Denim Insulation again because we have it in our current van and it has performed quite well. It's actually fairly inexpensive compared to Havelock wool, and
it's readily available.
Oh yeah, and
compared to wool.
Also fairly inexpensive compared to Thinsulate.
Yeah.
Which is another popular one. So once we looked at that, we figured out we can't get wool right now. Thinsulate was all on eBay, which seemed available, but that's synthetic, which means who knows how it is for the environment. So the recycled denim won again. 80% post-consumer, something like that. We'll talk more about it when we get to that stage. But yeah, so we are making some tea and we will do sound deadening today. What's so funny?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Good morning. Tea time for us. We wanted to toss a couple things in for those of you that are looking to do a van build. A couple things to think about. So before you go and buy a van like we did, you should probably have a plan of what you want to build, how it's going to look, and all that stuff. Because once you have the van, you definitely want to just start working, which is the same as what we're doing right now. Luckily, we have our current van here that we're pretty much going to use as our model to try and remake for the most part, because we are really happy with it. We're just going to change a few minor things. So one thing, plan your build. Another item to think about is parts you're going to need. Make a list. We have been on ordering sprees on Amazon, and stuff's on back order.
Yeah, it's kind of a condition of the pandemic, but also just generally because building vans is becoming so popular that suppliers aren't able to keep up. So had we known that, we probably could have started ordering things like 2 weeks ago when we started seriously looking into buying a van. So we're gonna have some time of sitting around and planning and researching. So it's not a big deal, it's just something to be aware of, that you may have some down days.
I don't like down days because I like moving forward and getting the van done.
There's always something to do, I think. We've got videos to make for you fine people, processes to research and things like that. But.
Yep. Make a list, check it twice, measure twice, cut once. This is van building.
Wise words.
Also, I don't know if I mentioned in our last clip, we don't have any crazy prior skills for building vans. In our current van, we did sound deadening in the floor, and that took us a bit, and we quickly said, this is a lot of work, and then found somebody to build it for us, which was perfect because we were both working full-time. It would have taken us forever to get it done. Now that we aren't currently working, we're super excited to take on this project and you know, see if we can do it. We have already said in a worst case scenario we'll hire out some things if we have to, but we're hoping to do it all by ourselves. The first thing that's coming that we have to do is mount a propane tank under the body of the van, and then wire in a Propex heater and a splitter to run our stovetop. So it actually sounds like pretty quick, pretty advanced, pretty advanced job. Right, she's using words, she's filling in my sentences because that's what happens.
It's early and Greg tends to not have the words in the morning.
I was born a rambling man. So
true in more ways than one.
We'll bring some more to you when I have something to say. last thought for this one, we are going to attempt to have these videos be pretty much on pace with the van build, and we're going to try and release one a week in relation to the van build itself, and then we're going to continue with one other video of our recent travels or some projects we did on the current van, just to keep you entertained. So stay tuned, and we'll hopefully get this van done in 8 weeks.
That's not happening.
We are starting by prepping to put the sound deadening on. It says to use white spirits. We didn't find white spirits, and they're a little harsh. We didn't want to take a bunch of paint off, so we googled alternatives, and we are using vinegar instead. So it's probably going to smell in here a little bit, but it'll air out before we put the deadening on. I'm going to stand here while she does the work for a minute. It does stink, huh?
Yeah, but it stinks less than white spirits would.
I think they were odorless.
That's not possible.
That's what it said. Odorless.
We're ready to start the sound deadening. We have cleaned all the surfaces so far that we're gonna go ahead and put some on. A few tools that you need for this job are gonna be rollers. So we bought the Noiko one, which is a metal head that I feel good about this one. This is one my dad had, which is a lightweight, wider one. Last time we used one like this, but it was wood, it doesn't work as well. You're gonna need some work gloves. These things get really hard on your hands after a while, so we've got some leather gloves. You're gonna need a razor blade in order to cut the strips of the Noiko stuff. That's what Greg's doing now. So basically for coverage, you're gonna want between 50 to 75%. 50% is considered adequate, 75% is pretty good, and then 100% obviously is gonna be full coverage, which we're not gonna do. So we're aiming for about 50 to 75% for each section that we're going to be covering. And the other pro tip is this Noiko stuff. This is the 80 millimeter sound deadening stuff. You can buy it in 50 millimeter, but it's not as high performing. So we bought the 80 millimeter because it gives you 50% more performance for only 30% more cost.
Link below.
We're gonna link that in the description below for you. And then otherwise, it really helps to warm this stuff up. So we have a bunch laid out in the driveway in the sun to help heat it up, and that makes it adhere better and easier to roll on.
What happened last time?
So last time we did this and it was cold because we're stubborn and we wanted to get it done. So we sat there for hours trying to warm it up with a hairdryer, and it just isn't super easy or efficient.
It sucked.
Yeah, so today should be a good day. We're gonna have warm weather, and yeah, I think that's it. We'll get going here.
The goal here is to not get any air bubbles, and you don't want to peel the whole backing first. So really, it's best with 2 people. We'll just get it started. Oh, that can be
That one's too
tall.
I mean, unless...
Yeah, we need to trim this one just a little bit.
Is this one too tall?
Maybe not, because that one might have been.
Yeah,
that was bigger. All right, so we're gonna have some scrap pieces. Shorten these up just a little bit. We're back. For the sake of not wasting, we cut off just about, I don't know, 1.5 inch strip off the edge, which then allows for this to do most of the coverage up here. And then these guys fit perfectly in between the ribs on the floor, so we will use these for floor sound deadening, and that's, you hear some popping happen already, so hopefully that'll stop that. Okay, so I think we were saying we don't want bubbles. So you just peel back slowly and just adhere it as you go.
You're going to want to get this. Yeah. mostly straight.
Yeah, we're not getting up to the ribs, so I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Yeah. And we did good. I don't see any air bubbles in that one, so that's pretty good. So we'll get a second one on, and then we will show you how to roll them out. If you do end up with air bubbles, we were reading online somewhere to just take your razor blade and poke a hole in it, because you don't want to trap air back there. Just can make things corrode. We're using a little more than we used last time too. It worked great, but I wanted to work extra great this time. Extra great counts, right? That's something you could say. That's normal. Okay. Now the worst part in life. I'm gonna wear gloves because I already have blisters from. Where did I get blistered from? Oh,
taking the floor off.
Taking off the floor. The stupid goop.
Which one do you want?
You know which one I want, but.
He wants this one. This is the metal one. We can trade.
We'll buy another one if we need to, if it works really well.
That one's got an angled head though, so you might like it better.
And so what they say is it has this textured diamond plate type shape, and you know it's on good when they're flat. I think I went a little crazy last time, but I probably will again because kind of a perfectionist, unfortunately. But you don't want it to fall off. How's that doing? Yeah, I wonder if we need, I might need a thin one.
How is there not like a power tool that does this?
I don't know. How's yours doing? Yours doing pretty
Not
good.
great.
Well, look at mine.
Oh.
Should I open the other one? You think so? Or should I?
What do you want to try this one?
Yeah, let me see how it feels. You try that one. Oh yeah. Yeah. This
Okay.
Alright,
so we can't get a lot of leverage with this thing, unfortunately. I had high hopes because it's like 3 times the surface area, but
we have this one ordered too. Get the Noiko one with the metal tip. They were the same price you said.
Yep.
We'll put links below to whichever one we think works the best. But for the sake of trying to get some stuff done here, I'm going to use this one. This is the same one we used last time. Oh yeah, so like a mini handle too.
Oh.
So you might be ordering another one of those. The Noiko is definitely the winner.
And the shoulders are tired already.
Yeah. I think this project ended up taking us 2 days last time because it's really not that fun. You're seeing already we're 6 minutes in and have 2 pieces. And it gets worse when you get to the ceiling because then you're doing it up here the whole time.
I don't think you really get rid of diamonds so much with this one.
Flatten it.
Yeah, they're flat.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I think that's
like,
good.
because the grooves on the head don't, like, they don't make it quite flat.
So I developed a little air bubble here.
Ooh.
So I'll slice that
Okay.
open.
We should get a close up of that. I think mine's done.
Yeah, mine's almost there. And then I remember I came back and went crazy on these edges.
Yeah. I don't know if that's necessary, but let's go for it if you want to.
Oh, I want to. Let me roll on down. closer. Alright, so I don't think it's coming off. That's your main goal.
Yeah. So we'll show you guys what it looks like close up, and then how we're gonna pop that air bubble.
Yeah. We got this little air bubble right here. All I'm gonna do is put a little slit in, and then push it around the edges by hand. Just try and get any of that air out of there. And that's it. So try not to get them in the first place. This is just the rubber or the metal on the top now. I don't know how long it's been, but we got most of this wall done, and we left most of this wall open. We started on it, but then we thought maybe you want to hear the difference. So let's see how it is up here. A lot less tinny. And once we add the blue jean insulation, denim, whatever you want to call it, it should help out a lot more, and then it's going to sound excellent. We're going to show you how we're doing the ceiling ones. Can you tell how much fun I'm having?
This is a very exhausting time-consuming job.
Very exciting.
Here.
Come from this way.
Third rib. Here.
You sure? Okay.
Any tips for doing the ceiling?
Maybe do the ceiling first before you're really tired. If you get the stuff really hot, where all the edges are here, I found that I can just use my thumb. It doesn't feel great with a leather glove, but it works. You can just push it out there. And it seems like it's plenty, and then we just go back with the rollers and hit the centers.
Yep.
If it's hot. If not, we were using the roller and just pressing in the corners, which is even more tiring. So
Heat is your friend with this application.
yeah,
Definitely makes it easier if the metal is hot and the sound editor is hot.
so yeah, we'll just go through and push all these down and then roll them out the rest of the way. Try and keep the air bubbles out. We only have 3, 1, 2, and there's one more on the back we got to do after this, and then we are finished for the day. We're gonna order a little bit more. We got to do the front door still, a little bit on the floor, and that's it. I think that's all we decided we were doing.
Wheel
We're
wells.
just gonna, oh, the wheel wells.
Greg keeps forgetting about the wheel
2 more
wells.
sheets on the wheel wells. I will tell you, I would imagine most professional van conversion companies probably aren't doing this, or if they are, they're probably charging you a very large upcharge to do it, because it is not fun. So if you're going to have it converted by someone else, ask if they do it, because I think it is very important to do. And if they don't, you should probably do it yourself before you take it in.
Yep. bad thing about doing this during hot days, you get really sweaty and then your face and your armpit the whole time, so you can smell yourself.
And then you don't want to lift your arms the next 2 days. And you're going to want a massage at the end of the day, but you're probably not going to get one because you're both tired.
Nope. Whew. That was a lot of work. So this is the finished product for sound deadening. We're done for the day. It took us basically an entire day to do the walls, the ceiling. We are going to prep the wheel wells for tomorrow, so there's some scratches in the paint that we're gonna cover with Rust-Oleum so that we're not chasing rust in the future, and then we'll put sound deadening over the wheel wells tomorrow morning. One thing to note is to know the layout of your build. You can see that we didn't put any on these panels. That's because this panel is going to be removed for window, and we have a window on the slider door as well, along with the fans in the ceiling. So we left gaps in this panel and then the back panel for the fans. So that wraps up our sound deadening video. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.